Behold, the ancient lawn bowl scoring ritual. 8 people gather around the sacred jack. They point, they squint, they murmur. Is it a cult, a seance? No, they're trying to decide if it's 2 or 2 and a measure. But fast scoring is not a ritual. It comes down to 3 truths experienced players understand. Truth number 1. The score starts before the end ends. In poker, you don't count your chips when you're sitting at the table, but in lawn bowls, keeping a running count is called paying attention. If you're a player in the head, you should already know how many you or the opposition are holding before the final bowl is delivered. Are you 1 down, holding 2, 1 and a measure, measure between which 2? If you're keeping track, you should know. That way you're not left staring blankly at the head like a cow with an abacus, working out the score from scratch after the last bowl arrives. Most players know the basic rule for scoring. Your side scores 1 shot for every bowl closer to the jack than the opponent's nearest bowl. Once you know the opponent's nearest bowl, you know where the count stops. Keep a tally of which bowls of yours or the opponent's are in the count at any given time and just make adjustments as new bowls arrive. It's the first tactic experienced bowlers use to quickly agree the score. Look at this end from the Canadian Bowler Open. John, in pink, knows it's currently 2 shots against him because he's been paying attention. As the final bowl settles, those 2 shot bowls didn't change, so he immediately concedes them. Ryan, in white, takes a look at the newly arrived bowl and isn't sure if it's shot, so the players perform a measure. The score is quickly agreed, and Ryan signals 2 to his teammate. That's how quick it goes if you're tracking the shot count before the end concludes.
That leads us to truth number 2. Nobody argues with a gift. Since you've been paying attention to the situation in the head throughout the end, you know if you're up or down. If you're obviously down, it's your turn to spring into action so there isn't a deadlock on the green once the last bowl has stopped. If the other team has bowls that are obviously closer than your closest, immediately concede them. Remove the bowls without disturbing the head, place them off to the side on a towel and say something like, "These 2 are in the count." Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Here is the key. You are giving the opponent shots, a gift. They are not going to argue you into giving them fewer. So you can just go ahead and do it for the obvious shots without debate or delay. It goes without saying that only 1 player from each team, normally the vice, is responsible for agreeing on shot count. It's an end of lawn bowls, not a fishmonger's market. Players not involved in counting should be getting ready to clear the bowls, including fetching the device to do so if the club uses one. A word of caution. Once you've conceded shots and agreed on a count, it's final, so move swiftly, but not recklessly. Once you get to the first controversial bowl, anything in doubt that could be subject to a measure, stop and measure. Don't ever move your opponent's bowls unless you are conceding them as shots. If you move away anything that could have counted, either through lack of attention or by accident, the opponent gets to replace those bowls, most likely to their advantage. We'll cover measuring technique in a later video.
Truth number 3. Nobody fights your surrender. If you say that your bowl isn't a counter or in contention for a measure, the other team won't object, will they? So move away your own uncontentious bowls. You don't need to wait around for approval. You're not claiming a shot, quite the opposite. You're taking your bowls out of the debate to reduce the fiddle farting around at the end. Look how quick it can be. Jason Greenslade makes it clear his 2 red bowls are not in contention and immediately removes them. Greg Harlow concedes that the red bowl is the shot and they quickly agree that it's a measure for second. How long did that take? You're essentially learning to speak in a new language. Move the opponent's bowl and you're saying it's a counter. Move your own team's bowl and you're saying it's not in the count nor worth a measure.
Put those truths together with the new language and you get the fast-scoring recipe. Track the count before the end ends. Concede the obvious shots against you. Clear the obvious bowls from your team that do not count or affect a measure. If players haven't agreed on the count yet, then measure only what remains. Track, concede, clear, measure.
Around the jack we gather near, squinting hard from ear to ear. But the secret to the pleasure is track, concede, clear, measure. Track, concede, clear, measure. Track, concede, clear, measure. Give yours up and feel no pressure. It's track, concede, clear, measure. Score starts early, don't start late. Gifts don't cause a big debate. Give yours up and feel no pressure. Track, concede, clear, measure. Hey, hey, hey.